We're live from the Grand Canyon. Tune in. Communicate na Clayborn Nodman Nixit Hualapai I said hello, how are you? We're up over here in Hualapai Nation, my reservation where I grew up, and talking to Mandela. She's a good person, and I'm very honored for her to speak with me and to talk in this nature and singing songs with her, sharing a little bit of my culture with her.
Hello listeners, Mandela here. I'm excited to announce that I've been in the recording studio, working on an album with my good friend, Steve Saroff. We just released our first single, and you can support our music by simply adding this song to your playlist on Spotify or Apple Music. To find our music, search for Didgeridoo River Meditation under the artist name Mandela van Eden.
Hi folks, my name is Chris and I'm the artist and co-founder at Explorer Maps.
Hi, this is Vanessa, Chris's wife. I have been a #1 fan of Chris's art since I first met him in the late 1990s. Which map will you get to help you treasure your own special times? Please be sure to use the promo code Mandela for a discount when you visit explorermaps.com.
Welcome to the Trail Less Traveled, an adventure radio series and podcast dedicated to collecting stories and sounds from around the world in order to take you back to mankind's earliest form of entertainment, storytelling. This episode was recorded on location in collaboration with Explorer Maps. Missoula, Montana is a mecca for outdoor enthusiasts, and each week we will bring you tales of adventure from both near and far, as well as information and inspiration and a few tunes to set the mood. You can subscribe to the podcast and learn about our international outreach projects at traillesstraveled.net. And now, here's your host, international expedition guide, conservationist, and yogi, Mandela.
We're on location here on the Grand Canyon, past Elf's Chasm. Today we started at Schist Camp. We had some miles to make. We ran Crystal Rapid and all the gems and hung out for a bit at Elf's Chasm. Now we're here by Blacktail Canyon, speaking with Clayborn Nodman, who is of the Walapai Nation. Today, Clayborn was in my raft, rowing a 18-foot Avon boat down here, and these guys ran the left side of Crystal with me, and it was super fun. So thank you so much, Clayborn, for riding with me today and speaking with me this evening.
Yeah, I had a great time with Brave and Mandela. We went down Crystal. It was just awesome. And to top it off, me, Brave, and Mandela, we laughed all the way down here to camp, to Blacktail, and here we are. And we're still laughing. It's good medicine, and that's what it brought to us, laughter, and I made a new friend today. The Walapai people, we were founded in 1886, where you call Haktaquiva. Haktaquiva means Peach Springs, and that's where I was born. The Hualapai people, Hualapai Pacha, means people of the tall pines. And we don't go by clans or nothing, we go by bands. And I'm from Valentine, and Valentine is we call Hakpa. That's Valentine, Arizona. That's the bands that we go by, and there's 16 different bands. Hualapai people, we came from a Trail of Tears, and that was coming down from Ehrenberg. Probably 10 miles up the way there was where the soldiers captured them down in Ehrenberg, and they took them all the way to Kingman, and some of the Walapai took off from that trail, and they ended up down in South Pai and Cocopah, and all the way down to Southern California. And that's where we came from, was from down there, and some took off up into the canyon, up Eagle Point. That's where our corporation was founded. That's a sacred area too. That's where some of our ancestors lived, up on top of that Eagle Point up there. And my people were starved on this trail. That's why we call it the Trail of Tears. They gave us the reservation, Grand Canyon National Park, from halfway through the river and to the left, south of the Grand Canyon is ours.
Clayborn, tell me the story about the Grand Canyon and how it came to be.
My grandfather said it came from an earthquake that formed this beautiful canyon, and once we were all underwater from the rim of the canyon. It was under the ocean. We were all underwater at one time, this area, and as the years have gone by, the water just came down and erosion and drying up, and this is how it is today. And I always remember that as a child, he would tell me, and there's a lot of places that are native people, not just saying my people, but other natives that live in these canyons, and all these things that are in here, they mean a lot to us, just not to that tribe, but for all Native Americans. We respect it. And that's just how my grandpa's taught me about the canyon. As the waters dried up, the canyon formed.
Tell me the story about Eagle Boy.
Eagle Boy, he was a warrior. When I was saying about the Trail of Tears, they lived up there at Eagle Point in that area. Now today you can go up there and see the Grand Canyon. But Eagle Boy, he was a warrior, and he saw people coming from the other canyon. He ran back to camp and he told everybody, he said, "Come on, let's go do this." He wanted to fight them. He wanted to protect his land. He wanted to protect his home, his people. But during that time, they were tired. They were tired from that Trail of Tears. They were hiding from soldiers, and that's where they were at. They were never found up that way. Lost a lot of Walapais during that time. They were older people, elders, just very few warriors. The other tribe, they didn't know how to get across to them. And my ancestors, they knew that area, so they just fled. And Eagle Boy, he ended up being there by himself. And so he tried to go towards them, and the other tribe just ended up going. And he came across that area at one point we call Eagle Point. He ended up over there on the other side, and he just said, "Pakyova." He prayed to Creator. He asked why, but he asked for forgiveness. All he wanted to do was to protect his home and protect his people, and he jumped off the cliff. And Pakyova, Creator, he said, "Eagle Boy, I want you to watch over this place of yours, this home that you were trying to protect." Creator said, "You'll stay right here. I'm going to put you in these rocks, and this is where you'll watch over your land." And so this day, that's where he sat at Eagle Point. And that's the southwest rim of the Grand Canyon. A little place right now where you can come and see the Grand Canyon, and you can do the skywalk, and that's where that came from. And that's another story about that. But that's the story of Eagle Boy.
Tell me about the music of the Walapai people and the music that you were playing with Brave.
Traditionally, our songs are the bird. It's called Chapai. Chapai is bird and Walapai and the bird singing. That's our traditional singing with chord and some seeds in there, and it sounds like a rattle. It sounds like a maraca. Different styles that you can sing just a straight song. Where the ladies, they mimic the bird. They mimic all birds. When you see them on the ground, they jump and hop and they turn sideways, back and forth, and that's how they dance. And only the medicine men could sing these songs, and that these songs were healing songs, and that it had to be passed down from generation as being in that family of a medicine man. And our other songs we call kahinka songs. They're called kahinka songs. They're round dance songs. This particular one is used with the drum. And these kahinka songs, they were ghost dance songs brought to the Walapai from medicine man from Wovoka. Wovoka is his name. He was our prophet. He came up with these songs called ghost dance songs. Ghost dance songs are to bring back the ancestors, to help them, to be with them when we were having struggles with the soldiers, when we were being separated into camps and forts and used as scouts of our own people. And those are the songs that Hualapai carries, and the songs that I sing today, they're powwow songs, and I borrow them from the northern people. Powwow songs is what I learned first, but I didn't realize that I knew my traditional songs and my bird songs. My goal today is to sing the Kahinka songs, the round dance songs.
We're on location on the Grand Canyon past Elf's Chasm near Blacktail Canyon, speaking with Clayborn Nodman, who is of the Walapai Nation. We're going to play a song.
Well, me and my friend Clayborn here, we're both powwow singers, and something we enjoy doing and love, and these past few nights have been really good because the drum, it's a heartbeat. When you run around or just doing something active in your heart, it makes like a duk 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 sound. That's just how the drum is. It's a heartbeat. Bringing us together as one, just having a good time, singing, dancing, meeting new people, learning a lot, sharing songs with a lot of people too, and them sharing, like giving us songs. And the song we'll be singing right now, vocal song that me and Clayborn been singing for a while.
We're on location floating down the Colorado River on the Grand Canyon. We are at mile 166 below Tuckup on the Hualapai Indian Reservation boundary. We just crossed that. And I'm sitting here with Clayborn Nodman, and he is a member of the Walapai Nation. Clayborn is a powwow singer. The music that they play comes from the northeast, but we're going to talk a little bit more about the bird songs, because that's a traditional Walapai singing, is the bird songs. We talked a little bit about it before, but I'd like to talk more in depth about the bird songs. So tell me where it comes from and a little bit more about it.
A lot of tribes carry these songs, and some songs are different, but they all have the same meaning and it goes all the way down to Southern California and a little bit of Northern California and down to Hualapai, Yuma, and all the way up to Parker, Needles, Fort Mojave, Yavapai, to Walapai and Havasupai. And these songs, they sing about all the mountains, and they sing about the springs. They talk about the springs, talk about the eagle, and just the way of living. And some songs are sung for ones who have gone home. We call it going home. We sing these songs to help them on their journey of this trail of going home. And one day we'll see them again. It's just giving them strength to carry on and not to be lost. We sing for social songs. We have powwows that we go and all gather, and the ladies will dance, and as well as the dresses. We use ribbons and cloth to make our designs. Some will be figures of the mountain, up and down like the canyon walls, and each dress has its own unique style and colors. That's their colors that they represent, but the meaning of the colors all the same. Most common colors for me is blue, white, brown, and green and black. White is for the clouds, blue is for the water and sky, and brown is for Mother Earth, and green is for the plants and vegetation, and black is for the night. Those are my colors I originally used. And for my powwow, were maroon and black colors, and brown, it's the earth colors. When we sing the songs, there's two different styles. There's a straight song, and we could change it up to a double beat, to a double step is where the ladies will dance, and some of us men will dance in a double beat style too. And the bird singing consists of a gourd with some seeds in there. It was told that it was mostly for medicine men because they were singing for people and heal them, and if they were sick, they would sing these songs and bring them out to them to make them feel good and take the sickness away from them. And the ladies will be there, helping them, singing for them, praying for this individual. And that's how it was told. We have the drum songs, but those are just barely starting to come out. As we speak, we're trying to teach the kids to learn. Not just the kids, us as well. I'm one of those Hualapai members that is out there for the kids to teach them a little bit of the bird singing, and as well as that carries. When all of these are going on, the ladies, they bunch up, they mimic the birds. That's why we call them bird singing. They mimic the birds and how they are when they're on the ground, when they hop around looking for the food and looking for twigs and whatnot to build their nests. They hop around, and that's how the women will be dancing and bird hopping in the arena, in the powwow circle. They would actually be competing amongst each other, and it's not just one or two women, it's 20 to 30 women, sometimes maybe 10, 12, just trying to outdo somebody, and also mimicking a fight, fighting for survival. They're looking for their bird seed to feed their family. The men just have their own style, but that's kind of hard to explain when you're singing and dancing at the same time. And the bird songs are our tradition. All the tribes that I mentioned, we all carry these songs, and there's different dialects in singing. When we come from different area, they'll sing about the same thing, but the dialects are a little bit different, but they're all the same.
Clay, will you sing a bird song for us? We're actually going to run a rapid right now, and I'm going to try to keep us dry, but go ahead and we'll sing a song as we're entering the sunlight and running this little rapid here.
Well, moi, wai wai anem, wai wai anem, well, well, moi, moi, well, well, moi, moi, wai wai anem, wai wai anem, well, well, moi, moi, well, well, moi, moi, wai wai anem, wai wai anem, oh, well, well, moi, moi, well, well, moi, moi, oh, well, well, moi, moi, wai wai anem,
Clay, can we talk a little bit more about the history of the Hualapai people and where they came from originally, how long they've been in the canyon, and when they were here, what did they eat? Where did they go in the winter? Where did they go in the summer? How did they get water? What were their crops like?
There's a place down past Diamond Creek, which is called a Matuk place there that's still kind of there. You could see it, but you can see where they had their foods. And the Walapai, we're not fish eaters, but we live by the water. We never ate the fish, and it was told that the fish were our ancestors and that we shouldn't eat the fish. We don't eat our fish because we could be eating our ancestors, our brothers and sisters, cousins. So we're not fish eaters eating off Mother Earth. We have the agave plant, which we would pit and roast in the ground overnight. We didn't waste it. We made sandals out of the agave twine and stuff. We made ropes, and that's where our shoes came from. The shoes our ancestors used, and they would twist them like ropes and put them all together, and they would make sandals out of the fiber in the agave. And inside the agave, it's like sweet potato, you know. It tastes just like that, like sweet potato. And the outside, they cut a little bit off, and we'd roast that too, and that would be our sugars, you know, all natural sugars from the plant. And we didn't have sugars like the sugar cane, but the agave gave us that little gender of sweetness, and that's what we had, and that's what they survived on. And as well as the Mormon tea, before it would bloom, before you see the tea, right before there's like a little ball on top of it, and the women and children, they would go and pick all of those as much as they could, put them in baskets, because that was water in those little balls, a little bit of water, and that's how we got our water. If the hunters go out and find food, and they would take those, and that'll be their water source in the desert, because the canyon ain't no joke. There's wild lettuce that's around here. I'll show Mandela if I come across one, but there's wild lettuce. We ate rabbit stew, we ate rabbit jerky, we had corn. That's what we had. That's what was our food, our source of food. For the pitting, we used barrel cactus, take all the thorns off of it and use the inside and cut it and throw it in the pit. And we used the river rocks for heat and used those back cactus barrel for a water source for a steam. That's how we did our agave roasts. And that's just what I was told, and just sharing a little bit of knowledge that I know of my people surviving. And the place is called Matwitka, where it all comes from, Matwitka. There's a trail that goes out, and that's right there at Spencer Canyon. You don't go out and look for this place because it's very sacred. It's very sacred to us and sacred to other tribes. And very good big medicine comes from there, and just hope that nobody attempts to go up there and hike up that way or look for this place, because it's very powerful.
We're on location on the Grand Canyon, floating down the river, speaking with Clayborn Nodman. Clayborn, I'd like for us to get the drums out from the rocket box and play a song. But would you first tell us a little bit more about the drums that you're using and how you feel about them as far as ownership or borrowing them from Mother Earth? Because many instruments, the idea is that we're just borrowing it. It's not ours. So what is the Hualapai belief as far as what we own and what we're just borrowing and how to take care of it?
As Mandela said, we borrow from Mother Earth. Without Mother Earth and water and vegetation and everything what she provides, you know, the trees, and we borrow it from her and Creator, man upstairs or whoever Creator is. And as well as I'll start from the gourd. It's the same way. We don't allow women to sing with the men because it's for people who carry medicine and who carry themselves in that way. And as well as the drum is the same way. We also do have drum songs too from Walapai, they call it the Kahinka songs, and that came from a prophet or a Wavoka. And not only our prophet, it's all Native Americans in general across the United States who traveled, and he taught these songs to each and every one of us as we were struggling with the soldiers, and that was his way of trying to keep the soldiers away from us. And so therefore he was our prophet. And those are the Kahinka songs, and today they're known as the Roundan songs. And the Paiute sing them, the Havasupai sing them. Hualapai, we have some singers dying in our area, and those are the main tribes that sing them, and as well as the Sioux and Crow and all of them on the east side. And wherever Wavoka went and met these tribes, they all carried these songs, the Wavoka songs that he taught to each tribe. He was a Paiute tribal member, and like I said, he came and made these songs and told each tribe to sing them this way, and that it'll bring back our ancestors to help fend off the soldiers. As today, you would call these songs the ghost dance songs, and it did what it did, it kind of scared the soldiers, but they still kept coming, but that's another story. But that's where these songs come from, and the powwow drum, the drum itself, these instruments that we have to feed them, we have to water them, we have to take care of them like they're our children or like our elders. We got to feed our elders, we got to take care of them, we got to do all of that and pray with them, talk to them, and that's how we take care of these elements. And we just don't go and pick them up and sing, and we just don't let anybody just pick it up and shake it around. That's how we take care of them. If we don't take care of them that way, we'll have problems in our life and in general for the ones who carry these elements and these songs from Mother Earth and Bakyova, Creator. Me and my partner Brave, we're going to sing a song. It's a veteran song. Everybody in the powwow circuit, all drums, they sing them for men's traditional. And these are the warriors. If you've ever been to a powwow, these ones are the ones that carry the eagle bustles, and they carry their spear and their shield. They're the ones that painted face, and they're telling a story, how they come up on their kill, or their hunts, or when they were in battle. It's a trail, and then when they rise up, that's when they're saying they're going after their kill or their enemy. When they duck down and go in, it means they're hiding. They're looking for that enemy or kill to eat.
Yeah.
It was while we were living internationally, about 11 years ago, that Explorer Maps first started, when Chris and his brother Greg decided to join forces and bring the maps to the whole wide world. Hi, this is Vanessa, Chris's wife. Each map is a labour of love, and I am lucky enough to see them all grow step by step from the early research and planning stages onto a large white piece of paper, through penciling, inking, and finally seeing the real magic happen as Chris adds the colour. As each one reaches the end phase, I get to examine them closely in the hope that I spot any unfinished bits before Chris sends them off. But there's always new illustrations to see every time. I love going to the Missoula warehouse when we're in Montana to see each unique map on the incredible range of products that Explorer Maps now has. Having lived away from home and families for the past 17 years, our aim of connecting people and place is very poignant to me. And for that reason, my favourite maps are Flathead and the Maasai Mara, because these two places are central to our extended family gatherings and where we have made the best of memories. Which map will you get to help you treasure your own special times? Please be sure to use the promo code Mandela for a discount when you visit explorermaps.com.
We're live from the Grand Canyon. We're listening to The Trail Less Travel, Outdoor Adventure with Mandela on the Trail 1033. Tune in. Communicate na Clayborn Nodman Nixit ya Hualapai yo vamchi ya tainya yaka ya talar kwe pai nya nyu ka kwe nyek ka kwe isupko ka waksi pa yahan ka ya kamchinya ya kechim swad nyu chika ya pakiwa Mandela swad nyu kwao chika pakihancha nyu makwao ya kwe kanam ya kwe sponya inka tunyan winka ya Grand Canyon nawavchim ya kwe panyu chik nyakechim kwe pa kanav nyu nika kwe tukwe han yut chatok ya kwe mat katay yut chike nyik pa kechim pa kanavu but yuyit yak. I said hello, how are you? We're up over here in Hualapai Nation, my reservation where I grew up, and talking to Mandela, and just said that she's a good person and I'm very honored for her to speak with me and to talk in this nature, and she's teaching me a few things of the Grand Canyon, and as well as I'm teaching her about the canyon, that they're not just entering it as a beautiful canyon. There's different cultures that are down here. They're not just alone with this canyon, that they need to honor those sites. Just very honored to talk with her and speak with her and singing songs with her, sharing a little bit of my culture with her. We're gonna sing another song that our drum sings, and we're called Sacred Wind. Me and my bro, he composed the song, and we sing it for either men's grass or men's traditional.
floating down the Colorado River on the Grand Canyon. And that was brave Thorpunga and Clayborn Nodman, 2 members of the Walapai Nation, floating downstream with me today. They're going to join me for the run of Lava Falls Rapid. We're all pretty excited about that, but we're singing songs for the river and for lava on our approach. Clay, I'd like to talk to you about the importance and the power of sage, red paint, and the salt from the Hopi salt mines down here.
Yeah, she asked about the sage. That was the first one I mentioned. The second was salt, and the third one was the paint. These 2 all Native Americans, very important medicines to the medicine men. And for these medicine that I just talked about, it's only handed down if someone's spiritual and is in the traditional ways of life of a Native American. He's the only one that can bless these elements and hand them out to individuals who he thinks deserves them. Or the way they carry themselves is what all indigenous people, we're indigenous. We look at everybody and we can read people in the way how they are, and these sacred elements are passed on. And I've waited for a long time to get some salt. My grandfather, Mr. Bender, he gave me some and shared with me. And the sage, it's a plant that carries good, and you could light it up if you're feeling bad, and that's what it is. It carries off the spirit for you, the spirit inside of you, and cleanses you as well, and as well as prayer, to have a nice day and to wake up to the sun. Nya, we call it that. Nya cha'alo, we call it that, the sun, the rising sun. Nya cha'alo in Walapai. We will pray to him and ask him for a good day to bless us and carry on. Our ancestors always say, rise with the sun and you'll have a good day. Pray to the sun. And we all try to live that way, but we all have our own ways of life. And that's one thing that we look at. And that's the sage, and if you have things going wrong in your household, you have sage that we light it and pray and ask whatever energies around us to part from us, and we're just here to try to live. The salt, that's how we say salt. It does a lot of things. It can cool down your temperature. It could relieve you from cramps. And the what, that means red paint. That's our war paint. We put that on, and that carries us through battle. And when we go into battle, we do a dance in that nature, in that culture way. We put that on, and the Hopis use it a lot, their culture. These elements aren't just handed down, they're earning our feathers. We have to earn it before we can take it. As young men growing up, it has to be passed down from an elder, has to be blessed by an elder or whoever's in their traditional ways, shaman or medicine man.
Clay, could you please tell me about this river, the Colorado River, where we are floating down right now, and the Walapai beliefs as far as the rapids and the river and what it carries, and the spirits in the river?
Hakataya, to us, that's a big river, flowing water. And there's a song about the water and with the springs and everything. We honor the water because it's our way of life. Without water, we wouldn't survive. We wouldn't have this vegetation to live off of. We wouldn't have no trees. We wouldn't have no instruments to make these elements of singing songs. And the river, to us, it's very sacred. It can take one's life at any time, and it's very powerful. It's a powerful river, and all of us Native Americans lived in these canyons, and along the way from Lee's Ferry, we have ruins all the way down. It's just sacred to us, like I said before, the fish in here are our ancestors. Up in the canyon where some of our ancestors lived, they would send the young boys down and come get water. That was a way of teaching them how to become a man and come get water for their children at times, or for their family. It's teaching the young boys of being a warrior and seeing the canyon or the desert, where they live and how far they have to come get the water and hike it all the way back just so that their grandparents or their mothers, they would have water to survive on. And that's pretty much it for the Colorado River of the Walapai.
Thank you, Clayborn, and thank you, Brave, for sharing your music and all your knowledge of this area.
Ma, Hanko, thanks. I'm very honored to be here too on this river with you, Mandela. I mean, I had a good time laughing, joking, and very honored too, and for us to talk on your radio and sing you a few songs, share about our Hualapai history.
Hey, Ma, Mandela, Hankum, quick qualm, Diek Wakwai. As you said, Mandela, it was good talking to you. I'm very happy to sit here with you and talk with you and to know you. You're a strong woman. You carry yourself very well, and I like that. And I wish my woman carried herself like that. I was very happy to meet you, and like I said, your man's a lucky man. Maybe one day, we'll run into each other again. There's no goodbye in native language. All languages, there's no goodbye. It's always, we'll see you again.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to the both of you. Let's end the show with 3 outdoor adventure tips, maybe from one native to another, maybe from different parts of the world, but it's from heartbeat to heartbeat. So from what you've learned in your life, 3 outdoor adventure tips.
What I would say is make sure you stay hydrated, drink lots of water, pack a few extra clothes if you're camping out here in the Grand Canyon for when you get wet, or if it's pretty out, nice sunny out, just change it to different clothes. Oh, and if you wear glasses, make sure you bring a spare or another one, because don't want to end up like me with just ending up with one and they end up breaking.
Bring lotion, because you'll be getting wet every day and you're going to dry up like a prune. Bring some sunblock. It's very hot down here. And if you're not used to getting wet, like me and Brave, we took a dip in the coldest water of all, which was way up by Lee's Ferry. Kind of weird, because we have all these guys. They all have their wet gear and everything, and we're the only 2 that are handling the water. So if you're not used to water and bring your wetsuits, bring as much as you can. If you don't like cold water, I advise you to bring warm clothes and keep yourself dry.
And one last question. The Walapai Nation and many of the Native American nations in North America live off the land, and they also respect it. So tell us a little bit more about what we can learn about Mother Nature and how important it is to respect and take care of her.
Water is power. Dirt is where the plants grow, and we pray to each element. Water, sun, the dirt, rocks. Rocks are our grandpas, they've been here for a long time, and they will remain here for a long time. And hope the water remains here for a long time. When you come across these, don't be shy, just respect them, tell them who you are, and thank them for keeping you alive, you and your family. Without these elements, we wouldn't have no concrete jungle or whatnot, and make our homes. And that's very important for us natives, because we use all these elements, some to stay warm and to make baskets, and some of the wild plants out there, they're edible, and sometimes you have to go hunt for those. From the boundary where we started talking from, and this is live, and we're going down the river, and as I'm looking down the river, everything to the right, to the north of us, from the middle of the Colorado River, is all National Park Service. And everything from the middle half of the river to the left is all Hualapai Nation. And one side where we're coming down, is as we go up further south, we'll hit a forest. And then as we go down on the west side, south of us, we'll have desert. Half is forest and half is desert. Everything to the left of us is our reservation.
We've been floating down the Colorado River on location in the Grand Canyon, but now we're on Hualapai land. Let's end the show with a song. What song would you like to end the show with in honor of the river and lava falls?
It's a fancy song composed by the tribe, powwow singers, and we're going to sing it in honor of lava falls because it's very intense and it's fast too. We're going to be in and out of there like the song. I don't feel like swimming today. We don't feel like swimming today. Okay, we're going to let you guys go from now. Like I said, there's no goodbye. We'll see you later. We'll see Mandela later. All right. Mahankin. Good job.
Namaste Missoula, Mandela here, your host of The Trail Less Traveled, the Trail 1033's locally harvested adventure radio series, which premieres every Sunday night from 6 to 7 Mountain Time. You can stream the show live online at trail1033.com. And remember, if you missed the premiere, it's also a podcast, available everywhere. You can follow the adventure as it unfolds by visiting the official website, which hosts the full show archive of over 600 episodes, by visiting traillesstravel.net. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank a small family business based in Missoula, Montana, with roots in Africa, Explore Maps. Explore Maps and the Trail Less Traveled have teamed up to connect people and place through their story maps, art, history, culture, conservation, and community outreach. You can learn more by visiting exploremaps.com. For many years, people have been asking me to produce some didgeridoo music, and I wanted to share with you that my friend Steve Saroff and I have released a single on Spotify and Apple Music. You can support our music by simply adding this song to your playlist. In order to find it, search for Didgeridoo River Meditation under the artist name Mandela van Eden. Starting this month, The Trail Less Traveled will feature a Montana conservation tip of the week at the end of every show. Now I'd like to hand it over to my colleague Garrett at the Montana Wildlife Federation.
My name is Garrett Titus, and I'm the Conservation Policy Specialist for the Montana Wildlife Federation. The Montana Wildlife Federation is the oldest conservation organization in the state, dating back to 1936 when conservationists joined landowners to address the loss of Montana's natural resources. MWF continues to advocate today to protect and enhance wildlife habitat and outdoor access. My conservation tip of the week would be to leave things nicer than we find them. If everyone on Earth picked up one piece of litter per day, no matter how small, that would result in 8 billion pieces of litter properly disposed of daily. This effort would no doubt make for healthier water, land, and air, which, according to the Montana Constitution, we all have a right to a clean and healthful environment. So please, go out and make sure you pick up your piece of litter, and be sure to join the Montana Wildlife Federation's membership at montanawildlife.org. Once again, that's montanawildlife.org to get involved today.
That's it for this week's adventure, my friends in Missoula and around the world. But until next week, please remember, living in Missoula with access to public lands and waters is certainly a privilege, and with privilege comes responsibility. Please get informed, get engaged, and speak up on behalf of wildlife and wild places. Like we say in Africa, if you think you're too small to make a difference, then you've never spent the night with a mosquito.